Tommo, we're seeing quite a few. Why do you think we're seeing so much of these upgrades being rushed through this year? It feels like that's the narrative of a lot of teams, is that they're really trying everything they can to push these upgrades through.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess certain teams historically have had, Haas, for example, rarely do much kind of throughout the season. They tend to start strong and then typically kind of taper away towards the end. I guess maybe the cost cap has changed things a bit as well, especially for the bigger teams, and you've not necessarily got certain advantages baked in. Obviously, you've still, infrastructure. James Vowles has talked about this a lot at Williams, and how a lot of the infrastructure is holding them back, and they're not able to be as efficient with the time as other teams are. There's always been time limits, of course, but you can't just throw money at the problem like you used to. So I think Karun, you nailed it. Like, you can't afford to mess them up. In the past, the big teams with the big budgets, the Ferraris, the McLarens, the Red Bulls could, just try like 5 different wings and see if one works. You throw money at the issue, and it was because you would have the top teams literally spending 3-4 times what the bottom teams were. And I think it's not rushing implies maybe that it's not well thought out. I think it's just, you have to be efficient. I think you look at a team like, Aston Martin, which obviously operated as Force India for so long, super small team, low budget, ultra efficient. I think it's those kind of teams that are gonna, and we've seen them jump up from 7th last year to second best car for at least the kind of first half of the season with Fernando. So it's that efficiency that is really gonna, you can't be bloated like maybe these big teams were in the past. You have to operate on a solid one.
And you have to be careful as well, because, on one hand, you're watching other people and you kind of think, ooh, that's quite a good idea on a Red Bull. We should be able to copy that. But you don't know what they're thinking. I'll give you a little example. I think it was the early 2000s, and I won't mention which team it was, but McLaren that year had the fastest car. And this particular, team and their senior designers saw that McLaren had a 3-plane front wing for Monza. And they said to the design office, right, stop whatever you're doing. We need to get a 3-plane front wing. That's what we have to have. Get it. And they just stopped everything. They put all their efforts, huge amount of effort. Within 3-4 weeks, they had this 3-plane front wing for the Italian Grand Prix. Got to Monza, and McLaren had a 2-plane front wing.
God, no.
And it's, as I say, I won't name names, but, it's the sort of thing which you can get caught out on, right? You don't want to watch. Yes, you have to keep an eye on what other people are doing, but you have to have conviction in your own thought process, and your own design process, and your own people, and your own philosophy.